Hi, I'm Monty McKinnon. This is way too much fun for one person to enjoy, so I hope you are getting something out of this and you're having some fun along with me because I'm finding this a blast. Today, I'm going to show you how I got this perfectly even all the way around, no chatter, all of it smooth. It's just perfect. And we're going to end up explaining all these braces, how they came about, and how we did it, and how we sanded it. And we're going to do that right now. So let's roll the intro and get on with it. Hi, thank you for joining me. I'm delighted you're here. We've got this backside cut down to size as we were talking about doing in the previous video. It's down level here and here, but I got to show you a couple of things that I had to do today because I needed to add some bracing. As you can see, the bracing pieces in here and in here and along here. This, I have this spanner, this turnbuckle somewhere. I haven't been able to find it ever since my move, so I had to go and buy a new one today. But while I was there, what I ended up doing was I picked up some rod, and the rod is actually this long. I got it at Home Depot, I believe it was, and you can see it there. It was just like one big piece of steel. So I cut it in half, or almost in half, and I took two identical blocks of wood, and I figured out my distance here because I want to use this to push in against the sides to hold this in, because when you're running the plane around, you don't want this moving. If you're using a scraper, plane, sandpaper, whatever, this has to be just perfectly still. So what I did is I drew an X across here and across here from each corner, and then I put a washer on it just to make sure. I could cement this in, but this is my prototype. This is nothing more than will it work, and since it looks like it will, I'll replace these. These are pine and they could easily break. So what I'm going to use in the future would be a hardwood, maybe a piece of walnut or poplar or something of that nature. And then you just simply tighten this up against the sides here. There we go. And they go in opposite directions to one another, of course. And then that keeps that. This keeps this. This thing is going absolutely nowhere. Now, when I measured this for the end pieces and I wanted to get them nice and deep, I wasn't sure how deep because I don't have a drill press yet. I'm still waiting for some suggestions from you as to what kind of a drill press I should use. So what I did is I measured the depth on the drill and I put some tape around it. So when I drilled down in, I knew to come up to the tape, and that would be where the end of it would be. How did I know the size of the hole? It was simple. All I did was take the drill bit, take the rod, and said, yep, that's slightly bigger, and it will slide in without any effort. So that's what I did. So then I used the plane, and I planed down and around here all the way around until I thought it was fairly even. Then the next thing I did was I wanted to measure how far this side was down at this point and this side was down at this point, because remember, this is curved, right? Got that radius on it. So when you put this flat board on it, it's going to be here and it's going to be high here. You could stick this ruler in there, or you could put it down on this side, put the ruler in this side. It's going to be teeter-totter. Okay, so what I did to figure that out is I took a T-square and I got, remember we measured the center lines on the top block and the end block. Well, I just lined those up ever so nicely. And initially what I did is I put this ruler across. I took a T-square, or a square rather, and I just simply brought it up until I had it square. At that point, I marked my side here and my side here. Then I took my ruler and I measured it, and it came in, the one side came in at about 119 millimeters and the other side came in at about 116. Close, not close enough. So we're not playing horseshoes here, we're building a guitar. So what we had to do was do something about that. So I kept on planing here until I could get this thing right down to shape. And then once that's done, and I think I'm pretty well there, I take my white pencil and I go right around the rim here on all of the guitar. And then I take, this as a flat board. You're going to see this again, only it'll have the radius on it. So what I have done is I have simply placed it on there like that. We call this driving the bus because bus drivers have big wheels there. And I just go like this until I know that all of that white is gone. And once that is all gone, then I can go back and check it and measure it. In fact, one of the things you like to do is hold this down and look underneath, and there's no daylight, there's no dipping, there's nothing. It's flat across. You do the same thing on this side. Now you see how this rocks? Look. That's okay, because we're going to bend that, and you'll see all of that in an upcoming video. So that is how we brought this thing down to size. Now, I had to use the scraper a few times, and we talked in the previous video about the chatter and getting it. This is perfectly smooth all the way around. And of course the sanding, as I showed you the solution, ends up taking that out. So this is down here perfect. Once we put the radius on it, this is going to go down lower and it's going to be shaped. Now, I talked about making linings, and I found I already have made some linings, and these linings are going to go around here like so. In a subsequent video I'll show you that nice and close, but there's the cuts and all of that, and it's very fragile, and we simply glue that to the inside, and that's what the top gets glued onto, and the back as well. But we got more work to do. We're not done yet. This is a short video, so I just needed to bring you up to speed as to where we are. Now, I'm going to loosen this off on the form. I'll clean this all up. And then I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to put it on the radius dish like you saw before in order to do the top, and we will get that pencil back out here with our blocks on each end. And then we're going to run the pencil around and do the same thing we did here with the top. Then we'll bring the top down, and then it starts to really get exciting, because now at that point, once I start putting the linings in here, I'm going to start building up for that armrest that curves over that you're going to absolutely love. And I need to put reinforcement in the side here because I'm going to cut a big hole in the side of the guitar for a sound port. It's just what I do now. So you're going to see all of that in upcoming videos. So thank you very much. I hope you have subscribed. I know that a lot of you are watching this and you haven't decided whether or not to subscribe. Please do. Hit the like button and the bell so you'll be notified of future videos. I really would appreciate that. We have a number of links down below. If you've got questions, you can use those links, send me an email and let me know. Now, we are going to get into another Tea with Monty very soon, so start thinking of your questions. Now, I had a lot of people respond to the questions on our last tea time. So here's what I would like you to do. Please, could you limit it to at least one, at the max 2 questions, so that I can get more people into this, and it probably will be a little longer. And I'll announce the exact date of when that's going to happen at a future time. So thank you. I'm so happy that you're here. And thank you for caring about the drill press and sending me emails and all of that kind of stuff. And if you haven't done that yet, there's still time to do that. I do need a drill press, and I haven't bought one yet. And I do need somebody to suggest to a company that maybe it's time to get a sponsor for some tea in this particular channel. Because right now, I'm about to OD here on some English breakfast tea. And it is so good. And yes, you saw me previously drink the coffee, and truthfully, it probably wasn't all that bad. But really, when you can drink tea, why would you drink coffee? I know there's some of you out there that are absolute coffee addicts and you love it, just like I love the tea. So more power to you. By the way, in the community section, that is available on your iPhone, Android, or whatever it is, your Samsung or somebody else's phone that you're carrying around in your pocket. So you can read that on your way to work, on your way back from work, whenever you want. Meanwhile, thank you very much. Oh, man. You know what? This is so good. It makes me want to leave the shop, leave the mess, and clean it up later. But I can't do that. I got to drink the tea and then clean up. Goodbye, my friends. I'll see you in the next video. Be there. Bye for now.